Welcome back to the AM-bition podcast. Don't know why I held out that syllable of the word. I was probably trying to think about something and then forgot what I was doing. But welcome to another episode. Glad you're here. I'm here with my co-host Ace.
No, you're not. Stop lying.
Man,
I hate liars.
Yeah. Anyway, though he won't admit it, he is here also, and we are going to conversate for your entertainment. Ace had a good idea that we should discuss any some interesting childhood stories. Obviously keep people anonymous, but just talk about our life and talk about the hijinks that we got into, or any emotional trauma. All good things. All good things.
Oh yeah. One time, I'm gonna leave most of the details out. One time I was at my grandma's house. My dad told me that he told me what sperm was, but he never said how it got into the woman. Yes, they actually exist, people. I didn't believe it either until I saw one out in the wild. Yes, I actually leave my house sometimes, very rarely. But yeah, I thought that it was transmitted through kissing, and if you kissed a girl, you could get her pregnant. So I was very scared to kiss anyone. I was a kid, and I was scared of things, a lot of things.
It's a pretty, definitely interesting story. So
you have any?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Man. 1 second, my brain's breaking. Well, as far as those kind of stories go, I don't know. What's interesting is, before my mind was let in on all that kind of, before I was open to all that kind of stuff, I was just kind of I was kind of ignorant of it. I knew of it, but I didn't really process what it meant, sex and stuff like that, and relationships and how that works and how pregnancy works. I never really processed it until later on. But man, I don't know. I don't really have anything that that's similar to that.
Let's just say some random dumb shit you did as a kid. I mean, poop as you did as a kid.
Yeah. Well, there was one time that this is pretty interesting. This is a pretty funny story. Monster Jam, right?
Monster Jam, yeah.
Yeah, I went to a show in Atlanta, a really cool Monster Jam, Monster Truck event, and I saw all the cool trucks like the Grave Digger and stuff like that. And we were sitting way up in the really high seats, and I leaned over and I was like, "Whoa, we're so high up!" And then I was looking at the monster trucks. It was so cool, and I think I was probably 5. And then my dad told me, "Hey, don't drop anything off the edge, or don't spit or anything or something like that, because it might hit somebody." And I probably wouldn't have done anything if he didn't tell me that. And I was like, huh. And I didn't drop anything. I didn't murder anybody by with a penny or anything. But
oh yeah,
I leaned over and I was like, he's like, "Oh, be careful." I'm like, "Oh, I'm just looking over." And then I spit, and the droplet of spit went down and down and down, and I watched it, and it hit a whole old dude. It hit an old man just enjoying a great, awesome monster truck show, but uses hard-earned money to watch a show, and then some idiot kid spits on him. But no, and then I was like, "Oh crap! Oh no! It hit him! Oh no!" And I was silently freaking out. And then he looks up, and then I realize he's holding a baby, and the baby starts crying. And then,
Jesus Christ!
And then he looks at me. He finds where I am, and he looks at me from all the way down there. And yeah, target locked, and he actually flicked me off.
Jesus, that's funny.
And
when I was a kid,
you want wait one more Marvel post-credit scene real quick. Do you know what he did back? No. What I did back?
Did you spit on him again?
No, I didn't know what the middle finger meant, so I thought it was a term of endearment, so I flicked him off back. He was not happy.
Jesus.
All right, sorry, you go.
One time while I was a kid, you know how kids are dumb and they like sticking their head in shit, and when they do that, they get their head stuck.
All the time.
Well, I was dumb enough to put. I had a bunk bed when I was little. I always got the top bunk because I was the coolest, of course.
Of course.
And I stuck my hand through this bar in the ladder, and it was super. I had to twist my arm a certain way to get it in there, and when I did that, it got stuck. And I had one of my older sisters there with me, and I screamed for her. I was so scared. I was like, I'm gonna have to get my arm chopped off, because that's what my dad used to do. He was like, oh, well, you gotta cut, time to chop your entire hand off. And that used to traumatize me. But my sister came over there, and she started videotaping me, and I was like, why are you doing that? Why aren't you helping me? And she's like, because this is what dad did when I was a child.
Oh my gosh.
Not some cruel and unusual punishments, but just some punishments that my dad used to do. Like when me and my brother used to fight, he used to grab duct tape and he used to have us hug, and then he used to just tape duct tape around us, and it was almost like standing up against the wall, but with tape. That's it. You're facing your brother.
He's forcing you to emotionally bond. Let's see. Is there anything vibrantly interesting about my childhood?
SpaghettiOs.
SpaghettiOs were pretty great, you know. So on the subject of childhood stories, one time when I was at my grandmother's house, back to a house of the grandmother, I was walking around, you know, I was outside, I was jumping on the trampoline, having a good time, and my uncle, who also lives there, he had a cat at the time, and the cat had kittens, and the kittens would like lived outside, and they'd come in every once in a while, but they were still kind of shy because they were just born. And I saw one just walking around, and I was like, oh my gosh, a kitten! And I was like, whoa! And so I walked up to it and I started petting it, and it actually let me pet the cat. The kitten let me pet her. So I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I was like, it was a good moment because, like, you know, she trusted me, and I was like, oh, this is awesome, you know. I was just like so happy, like, oh, it's a kitten, and everything great, all this positive energy surrounding my mind. And then all of a sudden I feel like this sheer pain in my arm, and I'm like, ow, oh, what is that? And then I realized I had gotten stung by a wasp on my hand.
That cat and that wasp, they knew what was happening. They were in unison.
Yeah, they were like, okay, I don't want this dude messing with me. Just straight up sting him in the arm.
Now, maneuvering on to stuff that I did dumb as a kid, something I do now as, I'm not gonna say adult because I'm not really an adult. I'm more or less a young adult. So now, stuff that I do as a young adult, it's more or less along the lines of porn. Let's see, graffiti, and almost dying on accident. How do I explain the almost dying on accident?
Yeah, expand upon that, please.
You know what? Maybe that's a story for another day, but you know what? I'm just gonna give a little synopsis of it. One day I was God, I was so stupid back then. Not back then, it was a few months ago, but I was spray painting some random boxes. I don't always do graffiti on everything else, but I was just spray painting on some random boxes. And this cop, he comes up behind me and he taps on my shoulder. He's like, "Hey, what you doing there?" And I'm like, "Oh, nothing. Just doing a bit of art, a bit of artistic. What's the word for it? Representation or something like that."
Yeah,
and
expression.
Expression, yeah. And he's like, hey, do you know where your mom is? And and I say no, I actually don't know. She left town just a minute ago to go do a job. And he was like, oh, okay, well, do you mind if I could talk to her maybe on the phone or something? Cause you can't be out here doing this. And I'm like, I can't. And he's like, no, you cannot. So I'm just sitting there dumbfounded. Okay, this is not a synopsis anymore. I'm just gonna tell the entire story.
There we go.
That this guy's calling my mom over. I was just spray painting on cardboard. I wasn't spray painting on the sidewalk. I was making sure everything was on the cardboard. And it was like in the tiniest cul-de-sac as well. So he's sitting. He's over there. He asked me to give him my mom's number, which first of all I thought was a little strange, but I was like, it's a cop, it's whatever.
Yeah.
And as soon as he gets on the phone, I fucking book it. I start running. I left my spray paint. I left everything. And guess who was running on the side of the road where the cars drive towards you? This boyo right here.
You probably weren't in any trouble.
I know. I probably wasn't. But it's like the social anxiety of that type of situation just kind of or not social anxiety, but anxiety in general of that situation just kind of got to me. So I started booking it, and I was running on the side of the road where the cars, I forgot what lane it is. It's like where the cars come towards you. It's the right lane, but not getting into too much detail about car. You guys can learn that when you get older and you start your driving lessons. But a car was coming up the side, and it was on a hill. So I was running up the hill while the car was going up the other side of the hill, and we just barely saw each other to where I can move out of the way. I left with like maybe a broken arm, but that was it. To where I got out of the way almost just in time to where the car hit half of my body, and then the other half was unscathed. But I fell over, and my arm, it was just like completely fucked up. It looked like an overchewed piece of gum.
Oh my gosh.
So the cop comes over here and he's like, why'd you start running? And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what I was in pain, and I really didn't know what to do in that situation. So I get to go to the hospital trip, yay, dun 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 dun. My mom comes over there and she's like, are you stupid? And I was like, yeah, a little bit.
Man, that is a very much almost near death scenario there. Like, whoa. When you started the story, I thought that you just thought you were going to be like, you're gonna die because you're near a cop, like he was gonna shoot you for like spray painting or something. I was like, okay, that's a little exaggeration, but like, geez, like, how is your arm doing now?
My arm is fine. I had to walk around in a cast for a while, and in a cast you have to keep your arm like almost like up. You just have to keep it up, and it's kind of hard. But my arm's fine now. Everything's good. I have a little scar though from when it happened. It's like at the back of my hand. But that's about it for that story.
I'm guessing your mom like gave you the Jim from The Office look when he looks at the camera and he's all upset.
No, it was more or less the I want your manager Karen look. That's
I want your manager Karen-esque look.
Don't you know when you're a kid and you almost fall down the stairs and your heart jumps a little?
Oh yeah, it's
and
like
yeah, I've done that so many times. It's just
like I've like slipped on a step and then landed, and then like slipped on the stairs and barely fell but almost did, and it's just like for the next few seconds you're like, everything in this world can kill me. And then 10 seconds later you're like, oh, Disney Channel's on. It's like, what?
Did you ever watch iCarly when you were younger? because I used to be obsessed with that show. Dan Schneider has a foot fetish, though, so you know. He directed iCarly, so.
Hmm. Oh, did you know that at one point he was like, "Hey, Nickelodeon fans, post your funniest foot pic."
Yeah, yeah, he was like, write the iCarly star's name on your foot. It's like that. It's like that one emoji on Discord.
Yeah. I wonder. How maybe. Well, I watched iCarly a little bit. Like I watched it a couple times. It was funny. I never like disliked it, but it wasn't something that I'd watch a lot. In Nickelodeon, what I'd really watch was more of the. I didn't watch Drake and Josh, sadly.
Oh man, you missed out.
Yeah, I've heard, and I feel bad, but I guess I kind of just missed that. Like it was on, I could have watched it, I just didn't. I don't know. But on Nickelodeon, what I would watch would mainly be the cartoons. I mean, we're back at nostalgia. I mean, this is on the subject of childhood, so it doesn't count as a repeat. But I watch like Danny Phantom, Invader Zim sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, the Fairly Odd Parents. I almost said like the show was called Timmy Turner, but that's the name of the character. The Timmy Turner Show. No. What else? Back at the Barnyard. Oh, classic.
Oh my god.
I diagnose you with dead.
I diagnose you with the die. That's like one of them Roblox. That's like one of them Roblox memes now, where it's like I go commit dead.
Go commit dead maneuver.
Go commit cease bodily functions for the prolonged period for you to stop. For the heart circulation and beating motion to prolong and stop. There we go.
I think at that point I'd just be copy and pasting that to send to
people. Have you ever played on Club Penguin? Okay, here's a more wide question where it's like, you know that all like the cartoon networks, all of the cartoon networks and Cartoon Network is a channel itself. But yeah, all the cartoon networks had like little websites that you can go play games on.
Oh yeah.
I used to go on there all the time, and my favorite used to be this one. It was on they were like Flash websites, but it has to be like one of the two games that were on the actual Cartoon Network website. One was like you chose two robots, and it was almost like a fighting style game.
Oh yeah. I played that a lot of times. I played like I would do like Generator X versus Ben 10 or something.
Yeah. Oh my god, Generator X.
Like, and it would have like Finn and like a regular. I don't know if they had a regular show at that point, but yeah, like the robots battle game. Yeah, I played that. Yeah.
Yeah. They also had another one. It was like what was it? It was this Ben 10 creator thing where you could create your own levels and you could play other people's levels. Oh, I don't know if you ever played on that one.
I didn't play on that one. I played like a Ben 10 game on like this might be like a wave from the past from some of you guys. All My Faves, this website with a bunch of Flash games on it, and it had like a Ben 10 game where you could explore this map, and like it was like drop down above like ceiling to ground view kind of Ben 10 game you change aliens.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you should like change aliens every once in a while. I never beat it. I kind of just walked around and would like shoot at nothing because I was like a kid, you know.
Because I was like a kid.
Didn't want to commit.
Yeah. Did you ever actually play Club Penguin?
I never did. But like before we go on to that, like there was one more game that I played. Do you remember the thumb wrestling game?
Oh my god, yes.
Cartoon Network thumb wrestling.
Oh my god. It's like so many hours of my life wasted on Lego games and just Cartoon Network Flash games.
Yeah.
The thing is, it was just so fun. It wasn't boring at all, because when you're a kid, you're like, wow, I could play this game, and I feel like I'm actually this character getting wrecked by this giant robot. But when
Getting
I
wrecked.
getting REKT.
Yes.
REKT.
For those reading the closed captions, REKT. Sorry.
Just have the rest of the closed captions blank, but then have this one where I say rect as in REKT, like with multiple spaces between them.
Anyway, Club Penguin. What were you gonna say?
Nothing. I like the sledding game on it and the ninja game. No, that's it.
I never played it because I did see a lot of commercials for it all the time, like on Disney. I mean, duh, they own it, so they're gonna promote it, and it would have like the event where it's like, oh, Marvel's Avengers are coming into Club Penguin or Spider-Man or it's winter season. Pay for this extra thing and you get eggs, like all the time. But I didn't really play it, but I did watch an episode of Super Mega where they actually got into Club Penguin and they made an account and they used their dad's email and they had to call him at like 3 o'clock in the morning to ask for the verification code.
One of the things that I did as a child, I used to be a greedy little hoe, but one of the things that I did was I used to ask my parents all the time, like, can I get a membership? Oh, what was that one game? Oh my god, what was it? Free Roam. It was called Free Roam or something like that.
Oh, like MMORPG. Oh, Wizard's Quest or something. Wizard Quest?
Yeah.
101. Wizard Quest 101?
It was Wizards 101 and another game. I think it's called Free Roam or something like that.
Probably.
Let me see if the website's still up. Free Roam game. Let's see. What was it? Come on. No, I don't think that was it. It was like a game where you could play as a little character and there were quests.
Very specific.
Oh
Thank
my...
you.
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
No, I understand what you mean. Like you're
I
stuck.
need to actually find this game.
Wizard. I remember the commercial would come on all the time. Be like, Wizard 101 for PC. Start your quest today, and then it'd be like the website. Yeah, that came on all the time. Another commercial. And,
I think it may have been Skyrim. No, that's not it. I don't think anyway.
Oh well. But yeah, man, that is a blast. Like from the past. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. On the subject of childhood stories, I'm trying to think if there's anything like amazingly like whoa. There was one time. What was it? I was thinking about something about this the other day. What was it? Losing my train of thought. Oh, okay. I'm really into filmmaking. I really want to pursue that when I get older, make that a living for myself. Make movies, shows, different things. And I really like filmmaking and editing, video editing. But the roots of this started when I was much younger, and my family has the camera, the home video camera that every home video is filmed on.
Yeah.
I don't know why I had like a huge stutter there. But we'd film things. We graduate like kindergarten graduation, birthdays, all good stuff, and like concerts and stuff like that. And I was like, wait a second, I can use the camera to make my own movie. And I'm just gonna preface this: it was garbage. Think about it as there's no editing. I can't edit this footage. I can't. The only editing in my
it's just you going up to different birds and then flying away.
Oh no! If only.
And it's like completely uncut. You're just they can hear your little feet pitter pattering to the next bird.
Oh man, if only, that might have been better. But the only editing I could have done with that camera was stopping and starting the recording. And what I did was I was like, I'm gonna make a horror movie, and So I started filming this story, like a very cliche story about the actors were my brother and sister, and the story is they went to a school dance or something, like, and when they both got home, one of them embarrassed the other, and they get into a fight, and then it's like I wish you didn't exist, cliche thing, and then like yeah, and then he wakes up. My brother wakes up from his dream, and then he realizes his sister disappeared, and then we don't have special effects, so I get my sister to put on like a white sleeveless jacket that she had, and like I wasn't smart enough to think of using bed sheets as a ghost, and so I'm like what's white, and I was like put on this cover your face, make yourself look like a ghost, and then my brother just like stood in the doorway, and he's like, "What's that?" Like really, really cheesy. And then like she walks by and goes, "Ooh, no joke. Ooh, I'm a ghost."
I like to think about this, like the setting. You have the filter over the camera, and your brother is just like a really stale actor, and he's like, like all of the effects. Like you're in a dark room. All of the effects and everything are good. You just have a very stale actor, and then this ghost that just ruins the entire mood. Like, yeah. What's that?
Oh no, but then and then like I have like the way I'm trying to like, oh man, this is gonna be so good, and I did one scene where like my brother was sitting on bed like, man, how did this happen? And then like my sister's on the other side holding a teddy bear where you can't see her hand, and she moving around going, I'm gonna get you, and then she throws the doll at his face, and my brother like really it's like it's attacking me, and he's like, what? That was weird. And then yeah, and see, you can't really make fun of them because it was me, it was my doing. I was like, this is gonna be Oscar award winning here, and then halfway through I realized what I was making, and I kind of just went with it and like, okay, let's see how funny I can make this. So halfway in the beginning it's like horror, and then halfway it's like horror comedy where I'm like, they reunite, and I'm like, da-da. I actually audibly say this next to the camera, da-da-da-da-da-da, yay, at the end. Like, yeah, yes.
Actually, oh my god,
yeah.
I would pay actual money to see that whole video.
One day you probably will. That's. I mean, I'm gonna have to show you eventually, in
yes.
some time. I promise you that eventually I will. Somehow I will show you. But, man, I was like halfway. I was like, I kind of just abandoned the fact that this was a horror movie, and I'm like, let's see how cheesy. Oh, and then I made like fake outtakes. Like I was
as in the Office outtakes and stuff like that.
Well, no, Office outtakes are like real. Like what I'm talking about is like I would like set up like I would tell my brother to do a line and then tell him to mess up on purpose, and then I'd like fake laugh and end it at the like.
Oh my god!
Because I was like, we did everything in one take. We have no outtakes. Every movie has outtakes, so we just made a bunch of fake ones. And if you really watch it, like it's funny, ironically, because of like how obvious it is, but it's a treat. I had fun making it, even though it was not Oscar award winning, as people say.
Hey, you know what's a really funny childhood story of mine?
Please.
I'll make it quick since
okay.
This video is about to end.
Yeah.
A really good childhood story of mine is when I was scrolling past YouTube and I came across the AM-bition channel and I left a like on all of their videos. So, that's a really funny childhood story. So you should do that. You should like leave a like on this video. Also, a little editor's note right here. It's not an editor's note because I'm gonna be saying it right now. But each time we record one of these episodes, we get done and we're both like dead from talking. We both will just not speak to each other other than the occasional
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. And Ace is kind of shooken up from it, but I actually had to file a couple of friendship divorce papers recently, And it was like, yeah.
Wait.
Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Oh, we need to talk about this, Ace, okay? I'm gonna let you keep the kids, okay?
What kids?
Oh God. We have more things to talk about now. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in here. Check out our other podcasts. Man, I'm having trouble stuttering today. Check out our.
We're just sitting at the... Fucking stop interrupting me, bitch! You ruined my joke! Alright, you know what? Go ahead.
Check out our other podcasts if you haven't already. Leave a subscribe and
a lick.
A lick. Subscribe and a lick. That's the new YouTube lingo. Yeah, sorry. And tell us how we're doing. It's always good to hear feedback from you guys, and we'll see you next time. Anything to leave us off with, Ace?
Bye.
Ah, great.